Here we go again then. So the second race at Brands Hatch and the penultimate round of season 3, and after complete chaos in the first race, let's see what we can expect in the second race. As Sean takes strides towards the championship, but Lewis won't give up even from where he starts. So it's Nathan, Liam, Clements, Sean, Adam, Rob, Ben, Paul. Lewis starts 9th, Jeff starts 10th, so that's your top 10. Lewis needs to get up there and try and win this race, and if Nathan can help him, maybe he will, maybe he won't, maybe I haven't paid him enough, but we're ready for a start. Expect Liam to get a good launch, and he didn't really know. He spun the wheels and Sean's through, and he's got to be careful. He's banging doors with the RAC car, and in fact somehow Nathan's got off the line and leads into the first corner, which hasn't happened for a while. And around the outside comes Sean, just trying to get the RAC car, and just looking for any sort of collisions in the background. No, it seems everyone's got round, and Leon's actually joined us for this race. Probably not a good idea. And funnel into this back corner, and everyone seems to be sort of following the leader right now, so that's interesting. 5th event, 6th for Adam, 7th for Rob, 8th is Ash, so Ash off to a pretty good start. Looks like it's Andrew alongside probably Nick, but Nathan's away and he'll probably try and run away this time, but Liam's up in 2nd this time, so Liam's got pretty good pace. And that's a late move from Rob trying to get down the inside of Adam, but Adam holds on as they all flash through the Sheen corner, formerly known as Dingle Dell. So Liam is sort of pegging Nathan, but oh, bit of contact it looked like there, Lewis and Ash, but Ash holds the back of the car. Now into this final corner, Ash is a little bit wide, and Lewis just drives into the back of him and takes him out. Just gotta wonder what's got to be said to Lewis to make him stop doing stuff like this, and that's ruined Ash's race. Ash is going to be right at the back with damage. It just drove into the back of his car, and there he is. He will not be pleased with that. Nathan leads though in the other Toyota. We'll have to see if Lewis got a penalty for that. We'll check. Sean though has caught the impressive newcomer Clements, who's already up to 3rd. That's where he started, so why wouldn't he? And there's Ben in 5th, who's up to from 7th starting place. Rob 6th, 7th for Adam. Adam looking menacing, trying to go around the outside. Bit warmer temperatures now, so everyone's tyres should be acting a bit better. The first race, a lot of complaints of understeer and running off track, like Adam's doing now. And Rob's just about giving a Mustang's width space. Mustang's quite a wide car, so he probably thought he left enough space for 2 cars. And the battle in Lewis, let's just say that, is in 6th place as Rob goes very wide, tags the back of Lewis. Lewis holds on to it impressively, but Lewis, I can see, has got a 6-second penalty for spinning Ash. And Paul there just following up behind Rob, gives him a little punt up the back, and that's put Rob offline, and he's into the gravel. And that was actually reported to the stewards, and in fact in the end it was what is this all about? I'm Leon the sailor man, I'm drunk as a caravan. Anyway, back to the leaders. Yes, so that incident was reported to the stewards, and in fact it was deemed that Paul had been given a 5-second penalty for the contact, so it was deemed that he was given the penalty enough from the game, so the racing can carry on as it is. Paul did actually in fact take that penalty pretty much all, as you can see, comes past 0.7 left on it. And sideways Chris there in the Mitsubishi. 2 more races, Chris, and then you can get rid of it. Liam 2nd. 3rd is like I say, the impressive newcomer Clements, with the champion-elect Sean around the outside, and his connection still hanging on quite impressively, because he couldn't even stay online for 10 minutes before the start of this. And Sean goes all the way around the outside. Well, take that, and moves up into 3rd place. Great bit of like champions drive in that. And Clements will look in his mirror and see another one. It's the other Texaco car, Ben. You'll probably think why. And then there's Lewis with that massive penalty, so he'll have to take it at some point. There's Paul, probably feeling a bit aggrieved at the penalty he got, but it could have been worse. Ben there has Lewis all over the back of him as he's trying to attack Paul, but he's more interested in Lewis. Lewis dives down the inside, he's up on the grass, and now he's push Ben into the gravel. Ben will react instantly down the inside at the next corner, surely, and he does, and that's probably over aggressive, in fact is, and but probably will be upset with the way that Lewis tried to overtake him down the inside at the first corner and just barge him into the gravel. So another incident with Lewis involved. I'm not saying he's to blame, but involved. 6-second penalty still, and now he's getting bashed by Adam. Adam was the villain of Laguna, so these two together would be interesting. Adam getting a penalty at Laguna Seca for ruining Brian's race. Brian not here tonight, he's got family commitments, so we'll see you next season, Brian. But Lewis does seem to be trying to hit every car on track, and he'll have a job to catch his teammate and do it, and Liam, because they're gone. Here's the two shredded wheats running together again. Paul as well down the back there after his incident, and Rob way back after his incident. Chris chugging along in the Mitsubishi, and Leon probably trying to figure out which track he's at. Nathan though with a huge lead, probably just as big as the first race. As this action's quieting down a little bit, but Lewis and Adam are close enough to think that something could happen. Oh, that's Leon, isn't it? Yep. So Leon. Now the sat nav says Silverstone, so he's probably trying to figure out why the track's not going the way he thought. Down the back straight, Lewis very wide, Adam just as wide, and in the background, a great race so far from Jeff, up in 8th place. We're going back to see what's happened here. Oh, there's Lewis getting past Adam, so let's see how he did it. Was it cleaner than before? No, not really. It was just not even an opportunity, but he's made an opportunity out of it, and ridiculously Adam gets the penalty for that. So yeah, well done Gran Turismo. That's really not a great system you've got. They need to sort that out. But Lewis again in contact, so that we can chalk Adam off the board. He's managed to hit him, so that's pretty much half the grid so far. We'll keep a track of it. Sean up to 3rd though, like I said, and Clement's hanging on well in 4th. Ben still 5th, not really doing much about it. 6th is Lewis, but not really because of the penalties. 7th is Adam. There's a bit of a lull in proceedings, but I think it's just everyone just settling down a bit. Jeff's doing a fantastic job in 8th in that car. His teammate equally just as good in 9th, but there's a couple of cars coming up behind. One of them is Nick, who's just not had a great couple races. Probably the number, Nick, change it. Chris just chugging along, doing a good job, collecting points, hoping to get off the bottom of the championship. Liam though seems to have 2nd pretty well nailed down. Sean's not seemingly catching him, and you can see the gaps are pretty even along the 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th and 6th. So nothing happening at the moment. Come on boys, make it interesting. Oh, Clement's wide, but it holds it. That's how Ben crashed out of the first race. Why did I bring that up? Anyway, Ben now just starting to close in. He probably senses blood with that run wide from Chris. So from Clementson round the outside. Ben tried this in practice and it worked with Clementson. He's trying it again now, and it's worked again. He's got a bit further alongside. Obviously Sean tried that in the last race and didn't quite work for him because he wasn't quite alongside. So, well, yep, he got pinned to the inside. Ben around the outside, up to 4th position, and now he can run for a rear gunner for his teammate Sean. Jeff actually starting to move in on Adam, so Jeff really doing well in that car. In fact, I believe the Shredder Week guys asked Nathan to drive the car and see if they could get any more time of it, and to be honest, Nathan said it was rubbish. So, yep. I think we can all agree that front wheel drive's not worked this season for those guys. However, Jeff is, like I say, still top 10 in the championship. Lewis, though, sensing more contact, looks at the RC car and fancies it. This is his favourite corner for it. Will he dive down the inside? No. He's finally realised that's not going to work. He could get a switch back. No, he's not. He's lost it. And he's right round, and he's had more spins than Rock around the clock. And he's really, really just not working out tonight, is it? That's been nice. It's just overdriving, I think. And that was pretty much what happened to Ben in the first race. Just spun on the curb. Andrew's going to try and go around the outside for 10th. But I don't think that's really going to work. But Lewis still has that massive penalty, so less said the better, I think, as Nathan roars on to victory. Second now is getting interesting. Liam has been caught by Sean, so all of a sudden the tyres on the BMW have dropped, and he's running wide as well, kicking up the mud. So under huge pressure now from Sean. If Sean can get second in this race with Lewis's problems, you pretty much say he's champion. It will give him a massive lead of around about 40 points, but don't do that because you won't have any lead. Liam driving impressively like he pretty much has all season in the BMW, and that car will be taken by the guy behind him and with Sean. We'll have two teams of BMWs next season, as Sean and Jeff had the Joker and they chose the BMW. And now Sean thinking about the inside. It's tempting, but he just wants to make sure if he makes an overtake, it sticks. Doesn't want to get involved in any penalties or contact. And he's got a good run on Liam out that first corner, but Liam covers it. So he's going to have to think outside the box to get past him. Maybe out of here, use a bit of the extra grip that he seems to have. Behind them is well, what's happened there? So behind them is Clements again, with Ben just behind that. So maybe Ben had a moment or had a slow down, I'm not sure. Come back to that though. Down the back straight they come again. And Sean's looking like, oh, Liam just caught that. That was gone, really. And Ben moving back up towards Clements, so I guess he took a penalty. Sean looked like he had an overlap, not quite. Liam really is hanging on now. Through this last complex of corners, and this is where the Subaru is strong through these medium speed corners, which kind of tells you that Liam's tyres are pretty over. There's Adam, 6th still. A bit of a quiet race, 7th for Jeff, so Jeff's doing fantastic. Scooby though, Nathan looking like he's got this in the bag, as he's coming down the hill, they're coming up the hill, so a huge lead. Liam again not feeling the need to cover this lap. Sean though looking for any opportunity, as is Ben on Clements, with Adam sort of in the background, as he has been for most of this race, just not quite in the group. Jeff not that far behind him, so Jeff up in 7th place and Nick in 8th, so a lot better from Nick. Lewis we think at this time is about 9th or 10th. And now Sean's diving down the inside, but no, not quite. Ben maybe look around the outside, but I'm not sure that Clements is going to allowed to be overtaken twice around the outside, and doesn't. Switch between the two battles, but something's going to happen. You just get the feeling through Sheens. Liam hanging on again. Sean still looking. Thought about the dive down the inside, but it's risky again. Ben now thinking around the outside, and Clements just positions his car really well there. Let off the power mid corner, as you saw. Now he's looking, weaving all over the back, trying to unsettle Clements, but Clements is just going to run around the inside of the track if he has to hold position. He's quite entitled to do that. And there's nothing in the straight line speed of these cars. So he's holding an inside line. Ben will try and go around the outside to get switched back to the inside, but nope, holds it around the outside still. Can he go around the outside? And Sean is through. Sean's past Liam, so we'll switch back to see what happened there. Here we are, and he's got a good run out the first corner and gone to the inside. Liam somehow hasn't covered it. He does now, but it's too late. Liam just didn't realise that Sean had got the overlap. It's too late now. Sean is through. Liam, if he wants to, has to fight straight back, but I don't know that he has the tyres for that. Ben and Clements are still knocking 10 balls out of each other as they come through this bottom corner. Ben's got an overlap and he's gonna pull the move at the same corner as he did before, but this time down the inside, and that's 4th position. Although Clements hasn't given up yet. He's got a good run out of the corner. And we'll look back from Ben's car at the RAC orange Mazda number 15. So he even took over Will's number. Background again wide from Adam. He's struggling at that corner. Adam will fancy his chances of a late move on the orange car. And there's Nick up in 8th, so doing a much better race than the last one. Lewis wide again in 10th, just behind Paul. Lewis still got over 3 seconds of penalties. Behind them is Andrew's not quite got through as many cars as his teammate. It looked like Adam was taking his penalty, he was, and that's allowed Nick through, so Nick moves up another position. So Nick having a storming drive. I think he must have started this race in 12th, but up to 7th, only temporary and more contact from Lewis, and he's hit Halford's car, so I'm pretty sure all he's got left now is the RAC, a shredded wheat, and his teammate. So we nearly got the full set. Well, I don't think Chris has got any contact from him yet, so we have to look into that. Anyway, Sean is 2nd. Looks like he's just dropping Liam slightly. Ben just dropping. As we switch back to this battle, and that's Lewis getting back past Paul. And it looks like, in fact, yeah, Nick has got past Adam again, so that's good. Adam down the inside though, brute power and strength and American muscle will always come through on the straight, and it has a little tap for Nick. And Nick's unlucky 13 is struck again as Lewis comes down the inside again, and more contact. Quite how he hasn't got double figures and penalties yet is a mystery. Try not to be too harsh, but really it's kind of in front of you. And Nick's off, so Nick's good race has been ruined near the end, and he drops down to 11th place. There's a very sideways Adam there, and now Lewis down the inside, and he's through. He makes a clean move, and Paul follows through as well. Ooh, and Lewis takes his penalty off the line, but it's not really the place to do it. Adam's diving down the inside to try and pass Paul, and more contact again. As we're on the final lap, things are starting to get critical, and more contact. Adam's through into 7th, and Andrew's 8th all of a sudden from 11th. Now he's 9th. 10th is Nick. 11th is Lewis, so he can kiss goodbye to any championship that he thought he was going to have. Even if he gets past this lot, really it's not looking good with Sean in 2nd. It's pretty much over now. So Paul looks good for 7th. 8th though is now Andrew, and off goes Adam again. So Adam's just having the same sort of day as Lewis, just completely crashing. Chris looked like he had gone off as well, and Nathan is basically weaving slowly to the line as he's got a massive lead and wins. 2nd for Sean, and that's one hand on the championship. If it wasn't before, it is now. Liam 3rd. Yeah, Liam 3rd. Ben will come across 4th. That's a little bit better than the first race, up 3 positions. 5th is going to be the impressive newcomer Clements. Impressive just as equally as Jeff in 6th for that car. 7th could be his teammate, but it looks like it could be Lewis. and he has taken 7th, but I'm not sure what the penalties will decide. 7th for Lewis, 8th looks like, no, 8th is going to be, don't know, we'll have to check that. And then in the background we saw Rob go off. He put a wheel off on the exit of the final corner, and he spun around about 100 times and will collect 12th place. But we need to check the results for the other places, because quite frankly there was too much going on with penalties. And that's Chris. He'll come home in 13th, finishing the race again, and he'll look forward to a much better car next season. Just the last corner to go. And Chris, we believe, will be driving the Mazda next season with Brian, so they'll look forward to a bit more pace and power. So the results were Nathan, Sean, Liam, Ben, Clements, Jeff, Lewis, why did that change? Paul, Nick, Andrew, Adam. So join us for the final round, with Sean likely to become the champion. Join us very shortly.